While their military bombs and shells Ukraine, Russians came out to enjoy some winter sun in Moscow. The war couldn't seem further away here, but the prospect of sanctions is causing alarm.
Me and all of my friends are very worried about war. We're against war and we are not supporting it, and we are scared.
Of course, I'm waiting this situation resolve and finish as soon as possible. Of course, well, it's the best way for everybody.
A number of Russian banks could be ejected from SWIFT, a global financial messaging system used by 11,000 financial institutions in over 200 countries and territories. It lets banks from different countries communicate with each other using standardized secure codes, allowing rapid cross-border transactions from one business to another. Being blocked will be painful for Russia's economy.
Yeah, I think being cut off from the system as a country, it can be very damaging to the economy. I mean, you can imagine being cut off from the internet, right? So there will not be communication with the outside world, let's say, in terms of financial transactions.
But do the sanctions go far enough? Not for opposition politicians like Vladimir Kara-Murza. He says Britain, in particular, could do more.
The term London grad didn't come out of nowhere. And for so many years, the British financial system and the British banking system has been used by Putin's kleptocrats to essentially launder the money that they're stealing here from the people of Russia. It is high time for that to stop.
Kara-Murza was in Moscow remembering a friend. Opposition politician and Putin critic Boris Nemtsov, assassinated here 7 years ago today. If Boris Nemtsov and others like him had had their way, Russia could be an open society with a flourishing free market economy by now. Instead of the increasingly oppressive dictatorship it's become under current Kremlin management, now facing the full weight of punishing Western economic sanctions. Observers here warn that sanctions could end up hurting ordinary Russians and actually helping Putin.
I'm afraid that the sanctions would turn Russia into huge North Korea. I don't think that the political elite, that Putin's, that collective Putin would suffer.
But the private sector is also turning on Russia as BP offloads its almost 20% stake in Russia's state-owned oil and gas company, Rosneft. For 2 decades, Putin's rule has benefited the rich far more than the poor in Russia. The West's challenge is making sure they don't entrench him and his cosseted elite even deeper in power. Dominic Waghorn, Sky News in Moscow.